Do your mornings need a little bit of a revamp? If you are feeling like you wake up and the day is utter chaos, as soon as your feet hit the floor, you are going to love this episode because we are walking through how to build a customized morning routine that not only fits your life, but it's also flexible with the way that life shifts day to day.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
Before we fully get started on the details of this episode, I just want to mention that if you are more of a visual and hands-on person, this can actually be found in my workbook. So it's not the exact layout of this, but it's a similar exercise that walks you through how to kind of evaluate and then build your morning routine. So if you go to reneematt.com/blueprint, it's my Your Organized Life Blueprint workbook. And it's going to basically walk you through auditing your habits in the five main areas that I talk about on this podcast. And once you go through the audit process, then you're looking at taking 1 week at a time to really build and implement your routine that is specific to that week. So it goes through five foundational routines, and it's your morning routine, your meal planning routine, your daily 7 home routine, your movement routine, and then setting your base budget for your budget routine. So that is kind of what's encompassed in the workbook, and then kind of laying out your weekly planning process. So if you are interested in that, you can go to reneematt.com/blueprint, and that will give you more of that hands-on method. But we are going to go through this exercise here on the podcast today to help you so that you can get started right away, even if you don't have the blueprint yet. So, the first thing that I would mention is that you can go through this and just think about your answers, but there is something that is incredibly helpful when you write things down. There's something that's happening in your brain. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not a scientist or a psychiatrist or anything. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I know there are benefits to actually putting pen to paper. So, if you have a chance, I would highly, highly, highly recommend making sure that you are grabbing a piece of paper or a journal or anything that you can write with and writing out your answers to the questions that I'm going to go through, because not only will it help you kind of get things out of your head so that you can visually see them, but it's also going to help you actually build the morning routine that is going to be your goal. So it's just really helpful to actually sit and write this down. So if you need to bookmark the episode and come back to it, that is totally fine. But I strongly encourage a pen and paper for this one. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go through different questions that are going to help you kind of realize what is the most important for you and how to build your morning routine, because you can take a morning routine that is advertised and promoted on Instagram or TikTok or on Pinterest, and you could take those and you could put them in your life and you could start that morning routine, and you could probably find some benefits to it. But what is not being taken into account when you are just duplicating somebody else's morning routine is your personal style. It's your personal goals. It is your personal priorities. Those are not being taken into account. So when you're just duplicating somebody else's morning routine, you're taking what's important to them and just pulling it into your life. So you could find benefits, and maybe you do align really well, and that's a great starting point. But you really want to be able to build your personal morning routine for you, because it needs to be customized for your own life. It needs to be customized for what is important to you. So, when we're going through building our own morning routine, we really want to establish like what is actually important to us. So, that's the first question I'm going to give you, is to write down on your paper, write down the three most important things that you would like to do for yourself each morning. It does not matter what is important to other people or what you've seen that other people do that they say is important. It's like if you think about only being able to do 3 things each morning, what are the things that are going to make you feel your best going into your day? And I want you to write those 3 things down. And then second, I want you to write down how much time you need to complete each of these 3 things so that you know exactly how much time it would take if you could only complete those 3 things. And if you need to pause at any point in this episode and write down your answers and then start playing again, please feel free to do that because that might help as I'm going through these questions because they're probably going to go quicker than what you can write down. And then number 3 is how many mornings each week are you currently doing this? And that one is always, like, really eye-opening because it's like, okay, my ideal morning to just do 3 little things and I'm maybe getting these done once or twice a week, that's a big indicator that your morning is not going how you would like it to. And there is some opportunity to shift things around and start creating a morning that works better for you. And while we are going into building your ideal morning, I want you to kind of fall back on these 3 things because we are going to go into a morning routine that's a little bit bigger. But before we move into a bigger routine, I want you to always think about if you were crunched on time and you really needed to get going, use these 3 top priorities as your backbone for a short morning routine. So if you can complete your full ideal morning routine, that's amazing and go for it. Please do it whenever you can. But we have to also understand that life is life and it gets a little bit busier than we want it to on certain days. But instead of skipping your morning routine completely, fall back on these 3 top priorities because that can still help you go into your day feeling your best, even though you only had a short amount of time. So take the answers from those first 2 questions about the 3 most important things and how much time you need to complete those, and take those as your fallback for a short morning routine on those busier days, okay? So now we're gonna go into building a bigger routine, and we're going to go to question number 4, and I want you to actually, like, think about your ideal morning. Like, if you could wake up and spend your morning in the most perfect way, I want you to write that down. So just start drafting a paragraph of and walk me through your ideal morning and make sure that you're not excluding those 3 things that you just mentioned, because a lot of us, we go through our ideal morning and then we realize that the 3 most important things to us that we wrote down are not actually included in our ideal morning routine. So as you're going through this, make sure you're including those 3 things. And I just want you to brainstorm and just put the pen to paper and just start writing out your ideal morning routine. So give yourself time to do that. Pause it right now and write it all down and then come back to the episode. So hopefully now you're back. And now what we're going to do is go to question number 5. And I want you to write down how you would feel if you were able to spend most of your mornings this way. So really think about this. Like, how would you actually feel? Would you feel more rested? Would you feel more at peace? Would you be less moody throughout the morning? Would you be less snappy at family members? Maybe you'd go to work a little bit more rejuvenated and you'd feel better. Like, write down all of the things that you think that you would feel by being able to spend most of your mornings this way, because that is going to help you to actually stick to it. And it's going to give you a little bit more of a reason and a purpose for why you're doing this and why it is actually so important. Most of the time, we think about morning routine being selfish, and we're like, oh, we can't take that much time for ourselves because that just feels really selfish. I need to get up and I need to go do these things. But actually, it is so incredibly important to start the day by completing the things that are important to you so that you go into your day feeling fulfilled. Because what happens when we're busy? We put ourselves last. And it's not selfish to do that first, because if we go into our day feeling fulfilled, then we are going to go into our day being able to better serve others. We're going to show up better for our family. We're going to show up more rejuvenated for work. We're going to show up like better able to serve those around us. So it's actually an important piece to be able to do this, especially if you are a person of faith. This is the best time to get that prayer in, to get that Bible study in, to get your day started with the Lord, because that is going to be able to give you what you need to actually be able to spend your day well. Because if you're really busy and you don't start that way, you're gonna put yourself off and push it off, push it off, push it off until like you're gonna say, I can get to it later, I can get to it later. And then you're going to get to the end of the night when it's time for you and you're gonna be exhausted. And you're just gonna say, I'll just do it tomorrow. And you're gonna go to bed feeling like you are missing something. You're missing a big piece of what's important to you because you're not taking the time to do what you need. So I want to really encourage you to not think of it as being selfish, but to really think about it as being a way to make sure that your needs are being met so that you can show up better for others. So now, once you write down how you feel or how you would feel if you were able to spend most of your mornings this way, I want you to go to question number 6. And this is where you need to determine what time you need to get up to get all these things done. And by doing this, we're going to break everything down so you have a step by step plan for your morning routine so that you know that you have enough time for each thing. And then if you need to tweak something somewhere later on, you know exactly where it needs to be tweaked. So you can consistently do this and start to build your ideal morning routine and make it even better over time. So, in order to break it all down, we need to know what is all happening. So, take your ideal morning routine scenario and you're going to basically turn it into a list format. So, instead of just walking through the day, I want you to take each piece and break it down. So if you're saying that you are going to get up and brush your teeth and wash your face and drink a big glass of water, write that as a line item. Like this is your first step to get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, get a drink of water. And how long is that going to take you? It's going to take me about 10 minutes. And then we're going to say the next thing in this ideal scenario was to take a walk outside and just a short walk around the neighborhood. And I want to take 15 minutes to go do that. So that's the next line item. After that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to stretch and I'm going to do some like short exercises in the sun. That's going to take me about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to grab my coffee and my journal. Maybe my coffee was brewing while I was out on that walk, but now I'm going to sit down with my coffee and my journal, and I'm just going to take 10 minutes to journal my thoughts. Next, I want to pull out my Bible, or I want to read, or I want to do some prayer, and I want to sit out on the deck, ideally. If it's nice out, I'm going to go out on the deck and do this, or I'm going to sit at my kitchen table or at my cozy chair in the living room, whatever it is. This is my time for prayer or reading or Bible study or whatever it is that I'm really wanting to do that morning. And I'm going to take 20 minutes to do this. And then next, I'm going to feel good. I've got my movement in, I've got my reading in, my prayer in, I've got like my coffee in, and I'm feeling really good. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go get dressed and I'm going to get ready for the day. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to put on a little makeup. And this process here is going to take me about 20 minutes. Okay. And that means that now I am going to be fully ready and rejuvenated, and I'm going to be ready to start the day so that I can start breakfast and the house is going to start waking up at this point. So if I know that my household starts waking up around 7:30 in the morning, I need to backtrack from here. Okay? So if I know that I want to get all of these things done by 7:30, I need to figure out what time I need to get up. So if I am starting breakfast at 7:30 and I need 20 minutes to get ready, I need to start getting ready by 7:10. And if I know that I want 20 minutes to read or do a Bible study, then I need to start that process at 6:50. And then if I want 10 minutes to do coffee and journaling prior to that, I need to start that at 6:40. And if I'm going to be stretching and I want 10 minutes to stretch, I want to start that by 6:30. And if I want to take a short walk outside for 15 minutes, then I need to start my walk by 6:15. And so then if I need to take 10 minutes to get up and get my teeth brushed and my face washed and drink that glass of water and do that before I start my walk, I need to start that by 6:05. So ideally, I would want to get up at 6 a.m. and that would launch me into this full routine to be able to get all of this stuff done. It ends up being an hour and a half morning routine, but think about how amazing I would feel if I get up at 6 a.m. and I go through this process and I am fully satisfied and I get up and the rest of the household gets up at 7:30 and I am feeling great. I'm feeling lively, I'm feeling energized, I'm feeling refreshed, and I'm in the kitchen making breakfast when everybody starts to rise. Like that sounds perfect to me. So if this is my ideal routine, then I just broke it down. I have a step-by-step plan to keep me on track, to make sure I get everything done. If I really need to, if I'm somebody that gets distracted, I would put these timers right in my phone and get them started right away in the morning to keep me in pace, and I would follow this. And if something feels a little short or if it feels like that just feels like a waste of time or I'm not getting fully satisfied with that process, rather spend more time here, then just edit it and tweak it as you go and figure out what is most ideal to you. But this is going to help you break it down. Just figure out what you want to do, how much each thing is going to take, or how much time each thing is going to take, when you want to actually be done, and then backtrack it from there. And it's going to give you your time to wake up. So, this is an ideal morning. But if you're super tired and you've got a lot going on, and you're like, I just can't get up at 6 a.m., then shorten it. You can always build your routine later. If you have a really busy day and you need to actually get out of the house by 7 or 6:45 or you need to sleep in till 6:45, then you always have those 3 most important things to fall back on. Get those done and build it from there. You don't have to do your ideal morning routine every morning, but when you have the opportunity to, you've got it all laid out in a solid plan that walks you step by step through it. And that's how you can build a morning routine that is completely customized to you. You do not have to take all of these things that I mentioned and put them into your morning routine unless you think that they would be absolutely amazing for you and that would make you feel really good. If you have only two things on your morning that you're like, I need to get up and I need to get ready and I'm going to go for a bike ride and that is all I need to do, then that's all you need to do. Go do that. Like it's completely up to you how you build your morning routine, but you need to build it in a way that you're going to go into your day feeling your best so that you can show up as your best. So once you do this, then you have your complete personalized and flexible morning routine. And now you can go into your day feeling your absolute best. So I hope that you take some time to do this. You are worth the time that it takes to sit down and walk through this and start doing this right away tomorrow morning and just see how it can change your days. It can change your life. And if you need to, make sure that if you are going through this and there are, some things in your morning routine where you need to be a little bit prepared, set out a basket the night before, or set out your clothes the night before, or set things out the night before to be able to be ready to go in the morning so that you can show up really prepared and not feeling behind. We do not want to be waking up and feeling like we're already running behind. We want to wake up and enjoy our mornings. Even if you're not a morning person, you can enjoy your mornings and you can appreciate your mornings, even if you're a night owl. So it's completely up to you, but this is a way that I have found that is super helpful. And if your season of life changes, you just go through this exercise again and you build it out again because sometimes your ideal morning will shift and your priorities will shift. And those three most important things are going to change over time, or they could change over time. So when that happens, just go through this process again to really confirm what it is you want to be doing in the morning and build your new, updated, revamped morning routine. And you just move through it that way. So I will quickly recap this process for you so that you can really take time to do this. But number one, you're going to want to write down the three most important things that you'd like for yourself each morning. Number 2, how much time do you need to complete just these 3 things? And that becomes your fallback for your short morning routine on those busy mornings. Number 3, I want you to just recognize how many mornings each week are you currently doing these 3 things. Number 4, write down and describe your ideal morning and make sure those 3 things are included. Number 5, how would you feel if you were able to spend your mornings, or at least most mornings, this way? So describe how you would feel. And number 6, break down your whole routine, how much time each thing would take, and then backtrack so that you understand exactly what time you would need to get up in order to get these things done before you are ready to go into your day. And that is the breakdown. Like I said, if you want to actually go through and kind of visualize this a little bit more, you can go to reneematt.com/blueprint and get the blueprint to help you. It's the workbook to help you with this. It's part journal, part workbook, and it just helps you organize your thoughts to begin building out those 5 foundational routines. And your morning routine is one of those. So I hope that that was helpful for you to be able to go in and build a personalized and flexible morning routine. And I hope you start it tomorrow, and I will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.